it's Stacey Martino, founder of RelationshipDevelopment.org and creator of Relationship U. And I'm so excited to do this video for you today because I'm going to teach you one of my favorite tools. If you're going to do relationship development work, which is personal development for your relationship, right? Paul and I don't do any couples work. We've stepped out of the old paradigm. It doesn't work, that type of work. So we do relationship development work. It's personal development for your relationship. And if you're going to do this work, there's a distinction that you must have that I'm going to teach you today. And it has to do with giving versus pleasing. And this trips so many people up. This is why we teach this to all of our students and clients and why I'm going to teach it with you today. Ready? And you might want to grab a pencil and a pen, take some notes on this. I'm going to go really quick, but I know this is something you can use not just in your love relationship, but in all your relationships, and it will impact your everyday. Ready? Okay. There is a difference between giving and pleasing. Can you feel it even already? Just in saying the words giving, pleasing. You feel it? There's a big difference. Now, here's the key. On the outside, the action that you're taking can look exactly the same, right? The doing, whatever you're doing for giving and for pleasing can look exactly the same, but the energy behind it, completely different, and it's always going to get you a different result. Why? What's the difference between giving and pleasing? Well, it comes back to the emotional guidance chart taught by Abraham Hicks. If you have not read the book, Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks, I highly recommend it. And in there is the emotional guidance chart. It's something that we give our students. This is our workbook from our last Relationship Breakthrough Retreat 3-day live event. And in there, you'll see the chart of the 22 emotions taught by Abraham Hicks. You can Google it, get the book, know it. But what it teaches is that everyone inside has an emotional GPS, an emotional guidance system that's hardwired into you to guide you in the direction that you want to go, right? The emotions on what we refer to as the left side of the chart are the positive emotions, like positive expectation, optimism, hopefulness, all the way up to enthusiasm, passion, joy, love, appreciation, gratitude, and all of those positive emotions. On the right side of the emotional guidance chart are the negative emotions, things like boredom, pessimism, disappointment, doubt, worry, blame, discouragement, jealousy, fear, grief, insecurity, depression, powerlessness. Here's the key. Your emotions are always giving you a clue as to whether what you're about to do will produce the result you want or not. The universe is always delivering an exact match for your energy. So if you take an action from an energy of giving, which comes from the left side of the emotional guidance chart, the positive emotion side, the result you're going to experience from that action is going to keep you on the left side of the emotional guidance chart. It'll be an emotion from the positive chart. However, pleasing is actually on the right side of the emotional guidance chart. It's in the negative set of emotions because by definition, pleasing is doing something you don't want to do just to try to please somebody else. You're almost doing it in spite of what you're guided to do. And that is firmly on the right side, the negative set of emotions. So you could be doing an action with the best of intent. However, the energy behind it is to please someone else. And because you're acting from what we call the right side of the emotional guidance chart, the result that you're going to get back is going to keep you on the right side of the emotional guidance chart. It's not going to be as effective as you would like. Now, that's the global why as to why there's a difference between giving and pleasing. Now I'm going to tell you strategically why. Because the trigger when you please, when you go into an action that is pleasing, what you trigger in the other person is absolutely going to give you the experience of the right side of the emotional guidance chart. However, what you're going to experience is resentment. Because the triggers for emotions, when you give pleasing out, you feel resentment back. Because it doesn't work, because you're on the right side of the emotional guidance chart, so you're going to get a negative experience back. So the pleasing doesn't work to please the other person, and then you're resentful because you didn't even want to do that in the first place. You only did that to please them, and they're not pleased. So immediately you go into resentment. Well, resentment is one of the kiss of death in relationship because it just breaks everything down very quickly, and you lose your mojo for doing the work when you go into resentment. And when resentment builds over time, it's lethal to a relationship. So, my darling, what's the answer? Stop pleasing. Stop right now in your love relationship, in your friend relationships, in your family relationships, in your work relationships. Stop it. Stop doing things from an energy of pleasing. If you're about to take an action, check in with yourself. Is this truly giving? Because I want to, because it feels good, because I want to give this. I am on the left side of the emotional guidance chart and it's giving? Yes, then go ahead. Is it pleasing and I'm really just doing this to please my partner, please the person I'm working with, please the person in the situation, but it's not what I want? Then stop. Stop. Do the internal work until you are completely congruent with acting from a giving space, and only take action when you're on the left side of the emotional guidance chart in the giving space. And do not take action when you're on the right side of the emotional guidance chart, which is in the pleasing space. So my assignment to you today is to stop pleasing and notice how many times in your day does this come up. You know, this pleasing trigger of yours, how often does it come up? And how often do you find yourself firmly experiencing the unfortunate experience of resentment? The two are tied. So be aware of it. First, see it, right? We teach the 5 levels of mastery to our students in Relationship U. And the first step is be aware of it and start seeing it. And then cognitively understand it and keep progressing down the spectrum as you shift from unconsciously pleasing and being disappointed with the results to coming from a place of giving or not taking action in that moment until you can, so that you can get all the juicy results and everything that you want. Post in the comments below. Let me know today, what has been your experience with pleasing and resentment, and what do you commit to do differently to giving in all of your relationships to transform your life today. Until I see you again, sending love to you. Bye-bye.